By the way, I didn't get to finish what I was saying, but the other thing on my list of like the food that I can't eat is shredded coconut.
Oh yeah.
I've never. I don't think that's something that I'll ever be able to overcome. I think that's one food that's like always going to be
Off
the
limits.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
Sorry, go ahead.
I remember going through. We went to a Chinese buffet, and we were going through the line, and Zach was like, "Dude, these cookies are amazing." I was like, "Okay." Put one on my plate, and I'm like going through. He's like at the table. He's like, "Lance, try the cookie." I was like, "Okay." Took the cookie, and I was like, looked at him, and he busted out laughing because he could immediately taste the shredded coconut baked into. Bro, what is this? Who in the right mind would want shredded paper all over their dessert?
It's a weird texture. That's what it always was for me. It wasn't the flavor; it was just the texture. Like it's like it doesn't quite like when you bite into it. It doesn't tear. Like it just squishes down, but it's a crunch at the same time. It was. I remember as a kid, I hated it. Like I was just telling you, like anytime my buddy Kyle's mom made a German chocolate cake, it was just, I was like, why are you ruining this cake with this coconut all over the top of it?
Yeah.
Mine was like, too, it was, to this day is, like fast food onions, like fast food diced or minced onions. Ugh.
Yeah.
Dog.
That got to me when I was a kid. It's like something I can kind of work through now, but when I was a kid, I was the same way. Whenever you go to McDonald's and get the burger and it has diced onions on it, why?
Dude, I immediately tear that bitch apart and I take a napkin and I scoop it. I'll take every last bit of sauce off of that bitch just to get every bit of that onion off of it.
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
Yeah.
Absolute trash.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Born2BNerd Podcast. My name's Ethan.
My name is Lance.
And we're back, baby. It's been a minute, but life happens as it does. All that matters is that we're both here and we're both live. And it's starting to get a little bit warm outside. And it feels good.
What are you talking about?
It's not where you are? Dude, it's like 55 degrees here today.
Let me look. This morning, whenever I went and got coffee, it was 25 degrees outside.
Yeah, I mean, this morning was cold. Yeah,
right now it's 39 degrees here.
Oh, wow. That's weird. So I guess you guys have the weather that we had, like, earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, yesterday was the first warm day, and it felt like dude, when we were out, everybody was on the truck, and, like, all the grips, all the rigging electrics, everybody was outside, just, like, no one was doing anything. Everyone was just sitting on the tailgates of the trucks, on the gates, just with their eyes shut like this, like letting the sun hit them because it was so warm. Because literally the day before was the day that I told you where I was just like trying to solder outside, and like I had snot just like frozen to my nose because it was like getting colder and colder and colder. It ended up being like, the day started at 34 and I think it ended at like 30 degrees or something. Like it was just, it was so bad. But today it's like 55, guys. It's like 55. The sun is shining in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. Sun's been out for 2 days. It felt a lot warmer than it does today, but sun was out both days. You know, I did some errands and stuff, took some trash out and things like that. It was nice, but it's still cold.
Yeah. We, I think after we're done, I think we're going to take the bikes out and do a little bit of a little ride around the neighborhood a little bit because it's been a couple months I've had the bikes out because it's been so cold.
I'm trying to go play disc golf this week.
Oh, nice.
I really want to. Yeah, I really want to go out into the park.
Yeah,
I want to be outside.
Yeah. So, hope you guys are doing good. Hope you're nice and warm today. You know, we were talking about like what we're gonna try to do today as far as the topics, and I've been playing a lot of video games lately, but I think that we're the same age, so I know that me and you relate to this. I think maybe some of the listeners do as well. But for whatever reason, like it's harder for me to get like emotionally invested and like invested in a way that allows me to just like shut everything off and be like, I'm fine with the time that I'm gonna commit to this game, and I'm fine with like, you know, I'm fine with the idea of sitting down for like 5 hours at a time and just like unplugging and be totally fine with that idea. But what I struggle with a lot of times now is like, allowing that to feel okay when I'm getting done. I'm like, what did I get from this game?
Yeah.
Like what did I get out of it other than just like a time filler, I guess. And it got me thinking a little bit. It's like, I don't know, are game companies like, are they listening to the fans, or are they listening to the people who are playing their games, or are they just looking at like data, like monetary data, to be like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do with the next iteration of our game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it got me thinking, if you could sit in a board meeting with a video game developer now in 2026, what would be like some points that you would like want to hit on to be like, all right, guys, look, I know that Fortnite makes a lot of money. I understand that. But what if we did this? Like, what would be like points that you would try to drive home to a video game company, you know, to make a good game? In your eyes, like, what would be a really fun game, you know?
Yeah.
What makes a fun game?
For me, I mean, there's so many things, but my favorite games, all of my favorite games, anything that I like, it involves customization and personalization to infuse that role play. You know, I'm really into that kind of like the role play part. And there are a lot of good RPGs out and a lot of good games that give you like customization, but nothing where I kind of like go into it and then get lost in the character that I create, you know? Not since Skyrim and Fallout, you know, those are the last ones for me. Where I was creating the character and then I was playing as if I was that character, you know?
Totally absorbed into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there are a lot of games that are coming out where you can create your own character, but not many games these days where what you create matters in your world, in the world that you do create, you know? Like I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 and you can customize your own character, but it's mainly for combat, not really for role play, you know?
Yeah.
Some people, I mean, you can think like this guy's a jerk or this guy's really smart, you know? But Baldur's Gate 3, from what I was telling you, it doesn't really feel as open as it wants you to believe it is, you know? Like with Skyrim, Fallout 4, things like that, the world was like open to you, you know? And you could be the kind of guy that's like a loot hunter, you know, or like only wants to try to find legendary weapons, or likes to find, you know, like I had one that was really into collecting rare trinkets from the old age in Fallout 4. So like whenever I would find these unique items that aren't common items in the game, I would collect them and then take it back to my base and like put them on a shelf, you know? And that was like my whole thing was just going around collecting like, you know, a model of a ship, you know, you get like the model of the Predwin or whatever. Yeah. And that's the only one in the game, you know, it's just that one model and that would be mine and I'll take it, you know? And that was, I obsessed over that, you know, obsessed over it.
I think a lot of games too will like try to sell you on, like decisions that you make within character creation that are supposed to matter and change how you play the game, but ultimately they make zero difference of how you progress through the game, other than maybe like, I don't know, like a different dialogue cue that you get, but it doesn't change how the game is affected or how a mission is affected based on like what race you choose, or if like, let's say you're, you know, if you choose to be a Dunmere, you know, as opposed to a high elf or a drower or whatever, where in these games like Skyrim, there's like racial biases, you know, like that a kingdom won't let you're a red guard. Get the fuck out of here. Or like the high elves where they're like, you're a wood elf. There's no way you're coming into our kingdom. No way, unless you go do this mission for us and get us a bunch of gold first, you know, or something like that. Whereas if you play as a Nord, it's like, oh, you're from Riverwood. Oh yeah, come on over. You know, and it changes how you're able to interact within the world. Something like Baldur's Gate, I thought that I was going to get that. And to it, like, again, like to an extent, you'll have these little like dialogue changes, but it doesn't change how you have to play the game.
Right.
It's
you can
more
still
of like
get through the missions and
the exact same.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I wish that, especially with something like Baldur's Gate, because again, it's D&D, so it's supposed to be like every decision that you make, it's supposed to impact the next decision and how you progress.
Yeah. I understand the developers, they're going to have their limits on what they can accomplish with that kind of thing. But I do feel like there was potentially a little bit more room for variables like that to happen, and maybe the way I played it just didn't give me those experiences. Maybe those are in there, but
you're not like you've played more of it than I did. I mean, I think I didn't get super far into it, just because of the top down aspect of it. That kind of gameplay, it just never really hooked me. And it sucks because I loved so much about that game. Like, I remember talking to you about it when I first got, I was like, holy shit, from the opening loading screen of the Down by the River dog, the music in that game, it was so good. The character creation in that game was so fun. It was honestly a little bit more limited than I thought it was going to be, but like, it made me feel almost that feeling of like playing Skyrim again is what it reminded me of. But just because of the gameplay mechanics, I never really felt attracted to it, and it never made me want to keep playing it because that kind of gameplay didn't really get me going. But I just wish that it had grabbed me more, because I know everyone says that it's like, I mean, it was Game of the Year, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I know it's a great game. It just never really put its claws in me like other fantasy games have.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I played it, my solo, I got decently far. I think I got about halfway before we started playing the honored mode challenge. And it had a little bit of that role play where I wanted my guy to be highly intelligent and perceptive, so I didn't miss much. I made very calculated choices throughout the game. But I felt like I was walking this singular path, and I was only branching off to get a little bit of XP and not to get a new experience, And I think that's one thing that I feel like we haven't had in a really long time, are these side missions that end up being just as entertaining and valuable of an experience as the main campaign itself, And, I think of like, when I think of, I don't know, I just think of Skyrim. Everything always goes back to Skyrim,
It's fucking millennial.
I just think of doing the main quest. You got this main quest, and then all of a sudden you like go into, what's it called? Red something, or I forget what it is. The town where you first meet the Assassin's Guild guy.
Oh, that's up in Dawnguard, right? Is that Dawnguard?
I don't remember.
No, it's Dawnguard's the expansion.
No, I think it's like Redwood or something like that.
No, it's not Redwood. It's
the small wooden dock town
up at the left, the north to the left.
It's like a wooden dock town. It's a bunch of like houses on different elevations, and you have to like try to steal the ring from the guy.
Yeah, an old girl's like sitting at the top of when you're like in the barracks, like she's sitting at the top in the Assassin's Guild outfit. She's like sitting up in the shadow in the top of your room, just like chilling.
But I'm saying, like, whenever you get to town and you make first contact, it's like investigate the Assassin's Guild or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you like make contact with the guy, and he's like, if you want to try, you have to prove you got the skill. Try to steal this guy's ring. So you have to try to create a distraction. There's different ways you can do it, but you can try to create a distraction and then steal the ring while he's like freaking out in the market or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're on the Assassin's Guild quest, and in that quest you meet people who are part of other quests.
Yeah,
they're part of this other campaigns and stuff, and like, it's so, I don't know, man, it's just like all of a sudden you forget about the main quest. Now you're like doing this Assassin's Guild quest.
That was one of the Thieves Guild, dude.
And then you're like, you're on this quest, and it says go here and do this, and on your way you see this like cabin that you haven't like noticed before. Let's check out this cabin, and you go to this cabin. I remember doing a quest, and I'm like trying to get, I think I had it recorded or something. I'm like, I have a picture of it, I'm pretty sure, I'm doing a quest and I'm running through this field and it's kind of like a marshland and I'm following the marker and all of a sudden I come up on a house and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's up there. And then I hear someone talking to me and I look around and I look over and there's this fine woman just taking a bath in a little pond in the water. And she's like, what brings you here? I'm like, well, I've never seen this before in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I love that, you know?
Yeah.
You just have this like little interaction and like, it just, I don't know, it's like, it makes the world feel so lived in. And, you know, Baldur's Gate I don't think it did it quite the way that those other games did. You know, there's tons of NPCs and you can talk to them. But a lot
it's
of
just
it
how
feels
their schedules are too. Like when they made those games, like, and I sound like a fucking my time, my games. Da, da, da. But this is really crazy because this shit came out in 2011, dude. That's a long in terms of video games. That's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, dude.
Yeah.
And yet they were still able to make these patterns within these games of little NPCs having their own their lives, their own schedules, where you would follow people and watch their routines as they went in and out of towns for, you know, the day and night, the night cycles.
Yeah.
What they did, and then how they would vary based on where you were at in the game or what time of day it was or what day it was. And it was like, dude, this was so long ago. And but like because you weren't at the market at this time of day, you know, this character all of a sudden, because it's a Tuesday, they aren't there. They're down by the river doing their laundry and or whatever, like what you're talking about happens. It's like like you don't think about it. Those little touches right there, like those little touches is what makes a game great. To me, like as a player who's trying to experience something, it's like think about how many times you go to the market, right? Or like just in the middle of town in the market in Whiterun, for fuck's sake, just as an example. And then like all of a sudden on a random Wednesday, somebody's not there. You're like, what the fuck? Well, why aren't they there? And then because you just had to go off on another quest to go do whatever, you're just exploring, you find something which leads to something else, and you're like, holy shit, I've been over here to these mountains so many times, I've never seen this cavern before. You know, it's just, I don't know, man, like little things like that. Or like, you know, I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Online, and we were talking about Red Dead 2 yesterday about how good that campaign is. There's so many, I still get videos like every week of little things that I missed through Red Dead 2, about little parts of the storyline, like with the Braithwaite family and everything. Like if you know about the girl that you find, I don't know if you've seen it. Like there's a part where if you go to this little, like, not an outhouse, but this little like shed behind the Braithwaites, when you're on this mission, there's this girl like in this shed, and if you leave her and you come back later on in the game, she's gone, and there's scratches and everything on the shed. And basically it's like it's this one of the Braithwaite girls who they put her in there because they're like, oh, she's crazy or whatever. But I think she's got like schizophrenia or something. And so they put her in there and she like basically goes insane and she ends up dying. You end up finding her body somewhere, but like her skeletal remains. And it's so fucked up. And it's so like, it's sad. And it creates this emotional impact to the game of like, it's a decision that you didn't choose to take to get her out, or you didn't choose to take to continue on this other mission to help her in whatever way, that it creates this emotional impact later on as a direct consequence of your choices. Little touches like that, dude. Yeah. So goddamn good.
Yeah. I mean, you and I, we're the same. We're role players. Like, you know, we like that kind of game. So those are going to stick with us more. There's like intricacies that allow us to like make choices and have consequences, you know?
Anything like that. Like if I'm sitting down with an exec and I'm like, look, I understand you guys want to make money. I understand we're in an age where DLCs are the way. There's no getting around. Like in 2026, there is no here's the full game for $70. This is all you're ever going to need for this game. Like, it's not really going to happen. Like, with the exception of, like, there are outliers like Ghost of Tsushima or, you know, Ghost of Yote or I guess Red Dead. But even Red Dead had like all these other like expansions with Red Dead Online. Baldur's Gate's got its expansions. There's no like, here's the full fucking game, enjoy forever.
Yeah.
Like that's never going to happen anymore because you have to continue to make money. And I understand that. But it's like, man, I don't know. It'd be nice to just have a full game of this is how it was designed to play. Here it is. Play it. Enjoy it for the rest of time.
Yeah. I mean, I also think there's something there's something that I like about DLCs or updates is that if you get a game that you fall in love with, you keep getting content for it.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know, you're just like, hey, another DLC, let's play this some more. You know, that's like whenever. I mean, hey, Skyrim came out with DLCs. You know, it came out with the
Dawnguard, and Dawnguard was where you fight what's his face with Malik with the mask, the cult.
Yes, there's 3, I think.
Yeah,
and then there was the one that was the vampires.
Yeah.
And then was there a third one?
There was the one where you get the dragon shout, where you control dragons.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a long time. I don't remember the name of the DLCs. There's the one where you like go to the other world and there's the cult, the other land, and there's the cult. There's the vampire one where you meet Serena.
Yeah, Serena.
Serena. That was my main. Whenever that DLC came out, I restarted the campaign and would start with that campaign just so I could get her as a companion for the rest of my playthrough.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's still DLCs back then too, you know. You fall in love with the game and then you get to play it some more.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of games these days, a lot of developers release them before they're actually finished and then release these like subsequent updates. So it's like you're constantly kind of having to change how you play the game because the game is changing, you know?
Yeah. I think that happens a lot nowadays, or especially like you can just look into even if it's a game that you don't play, that if it's something that you like, you're just looking in the comment section and you can like see of like reviews of people saying like this was 100% an early access game that was not ready for the full release, and they had a deadline and they decided to just like keep the deadline and make money while they can, as opposed to pushing it back and releasing a game that was completely finished.
Yeah.
I think
right now we have this weird dichotomy between, you know, these games that we're talking about, they're PC games. And now that we're PC gamers, like that we're giving more time to that. And that's where you're seeing those like early access, early development games kind of thing, where they're like people are launching before, you know, like the beta's even out. Just like, why did you? I think what's the game that just came out that was like that? That was just like a huge bomb because they released it too early and there's nothing to do.
The RuneScape one, RuneScape reboot.
No, I forget. It came out this week or last week. It's pretty new, and it went crazy high the first week, and then everyone was like, "Wait, there's nothing to do. This game is not finished." And then everyone stopped playing. Dune was like that. Dune Awakening.
Yeah, I saw like a couple of you guys hop on Dune, and I never got on it because I was like, I've heard nothing about this game.
I was so excited for that. It had base building. It had character creation. You get to like try to create your own like, you know, legend. You're like the chosen one or whatever. And I thought I was so excited. And then you get there and you're just like, there's nothing here.
Yeah.
The opening scene is really fun. It gives me like Star Wars. What was the old Star Wars campaigns?
Of just games? Like
the old Star Wars campaign games.
The Battlefront?
Yes. No. Yeah. What's the one with the guy with the lightning?
Force Unleashed.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's what the intro reminded me of.
Top tier.
Yeah, and then after you get your intro done and you're released to the world, it's just like it's just a bunch of desert, man. It's just a bunch of desert.
Yeah.
I don't know. But on the other side, these AAA studios, they're releasing full games, but they're not listening to their player base, and they're focusing on keeping that AAA title and just raking in cash. So they're just like,
Yeah.
then you get games that, you know, feel like what we're talking about, where they're not, it doesn't feel like they care about the player. They just want to get the money, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I see that a lot with, honestly, with a lot of racing, like sim racing games too. I mean, it depends on what you're playing. Like I really love the fact that Assetto, like something like Assetto Corsa is a game that is 14 years old at this point, I think. No, 12 years old, came out in 2014, I believe. And basically, like the modding, like they in the past 2 years, they came out with this new version of Assetto Corsa, where a lot of people are still playing the old version of Assetto Corsa because the modding community has kept this up for so long and have made this game so much more than the actual developers had ever intended to do with this game. Like that's with the No Hezi server that I was talking about a while back, where like you're just like they've made these worldwide leaderboards where the modders are the people that made this game. Like the developers didn't at all. This is all post-game modding community that's done this, where like you've got these leaderboards where you can see like how far you've gone within a 25-minute limit to see like what your scores were, you know, going through this map of Tokyo skylines with your cars. You know, it's all this whole cityscape, the whole track, everything was done by modders. Like it's insane. Where people have chosen to keep that alive as opposed to going with this new version of the same game, you know, that the actual developers have made. Like that's wild. I think that's happening a lot where, and then like you see kind of the same thing like with a lot of these newer indie games within the like sim racing community that are a lot of things like the Forza Horizons and stuff. And don't get me wrong, side tangent, like I'm like really stoked about the new Forza Horizon that's getting ready to come out this year, Forza Horizon 6. But like Forza Horizon 5 got plagued by microtransactions over microtransactions for these car packs or these track packs or these like little things that like ultimately didn't mean shit. Like they didn't make the game better or worse. They were just like little ways for the game developers to make more little drops in the bucket here and there. I don't know, man. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those games are super fun and they're really good for like just hanging out with you and your buddies who want to get sideways and go skid and, you know, have fun drifting, or if you want to do some stupid like with the Horizon stuff, like absurd missions where you're jumping over airplanes and doing like whatever you want to do. But it's fun stuff to do with your friends. And a lot of those times you can't do that because you have to have a certain car pack in order to be in these missions. So you can't do that stuff with your friends because you don't have the car pack or they don't have the car pack. So then they have to go and buy it in order to do these things. And it's like, bro, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Why are you killing the vibe right now? You know? I don't know. Things like that.
Yeah.
It's not even pay to win. It's literally pay to play.
Yeah, a lot of studios are doing this like monetizing FOMO basically. And making you feel like you have to spend money so that you don't miss out on the experience.
Yeah. And I mean it's perpetuated also by like influencer culture and like, you know, YouTube culture where like because they know that's what's going to get hits. That's going to drive their channel. So whenever a new update comes out, they get the new update, they buy the new car pack, just as a reference. And then that streams out to all of their viewer base, which in turn would translate to more buys for them. So it's like this whole fucking ecosystem that's just perpetuating it. And it's like, God damn it. Yeah. I don't know. I've always wanted to have something that's similar to like the way that Assetto Corsa deal is, to where like if you have a game where you can just like add your mod pack, but it's like totally it's like encouraged within the game. Like it's not something that you have to go on Vortex or whatever modding site you're doing. It's like encouraged within the game to do. That's something that I would love, like an open world mech game where you can do like you've got this like, you know, like I've always wanted a Zoid game, like an open world Zoid game where you've got this story that's the center point of it is like the conflict between the Republic and the Empire, that old chestnut, but with like Zoid specific stuff, like within the anime. And then you've got, you know, your hangar, your Zoid hangar, where you've got your specific Zoids, and you can go find wild Zoids and you can tame them, and you could do all this stuff. You know, you can customize your own personal Zoids, and like you've got all that stuff. But then like you can modify within the game, like you can modify your base, you can modify your hangar, whatever. I don't know. Like I love that idea of customization that is encouraged to your player base without having to go through all of these hoops outside of the game to make it happen. Like modding culture is so huge now, and I feel like if game developers aren't willing to like embrace that and encourage it, it's a missed opportunity, I think. I don't know.
To allow modding?
Yeah, to allow modding within the game. Like, you know, I remember when, bringing it back to Skyrim, I remember when in 2014? When did the special edition first come out? 2016? 2016, because it was a 5-year anniversary. They added, people were already modding that game, but you could only mod it on the PC version. Yeah. And when it came out for the anniversary edition, the special edition, it was on the Xbox One, PS4, and that was something they added to that version, where you could do mods on the Xbox version,
right?
And it was within the game, and that was so huge, dude. Like it was so huge. Why don't more companies like embrace that? Like, because to be like, let's be honest, that reason alone, the modding community alone, is one of the biggest reasons that Skyrim is still such a relevant game, and it's still played like to this day, you know?
Yeah, I remember that's whenever I kind of went a little hardcore with Fallout 4 as well, is when they added the modding in the Xbox, and I could just like get all the building like aspects from like the game, some building like assets that didn't exist, you know, and like get around the build limit where I could build as much as I wanted. That was huge.
And I know that like some companies are listening to that. Like they're listening to their player base. I think that's something with the new Forza Horizon that's coming out in a few months. And I'm not a shill. I am not getting paid to market Forza Horizon. I know I've mentioned it like 4 times in this podcast, but that is something that I saw with that, where it's like, oh shit, what's something that we as players wanted? We want to hang out with our friends. Like a lot of people that play Forza are like car people, like they're car enthusiasts. What do car people love to do? We love to hang out with our friends with our cars. So they incorporated this new mode that is called a local meet mode. Basically, it's what it is. Where like there's these sections on the map where you can organize a local car meet, and you can go hang out with these local PAs or local 7-Elevens or whatever within the game, and you're just hanging out with your buddies, getting combini, talking shit, and looking at the new builds you've done on your cars. Or they've done this new, it's basically a garage thing where like you can have your own garage, and then, kind of compound. You can make your own compound and build and add to it. And then you and your buddies can come over to your compound and just hang in the garage, have some beers. And like, you know, it's just really cool. Like little touches like that. It's like, that's what I'm looking for in a game.
Yeah. You know, if you think about like the games that are played the most today, a lot of them are older games, you know?
Yeah.
Like the fact that like GTA 5 roleplay is still a huge, huge thing.
Brother, think about how old GTA 5 is. That is insane.
I know.
I mean, and also like the modding community is what's made that game so successful, and it's still relevant. Like in another 4 years, when they finally release GTA 6, it's still going to be relevant probably.
Yeah. But you know what it makes me think of? I remember, you know, playing Skyrim and we're like in school. I started playing it out of high school, so I was already in my first year of college when I started playing it.
Yeah.
But I remember how much I loved it and how everyone was just talking about how we all wish we could play it together. Like Skyrim, but multiplayer, right? Then Fallout 4 came out and it was amazing. It was so fun. And everyone's like, dude, I just wish I could do this multiplayer, right? And then they came out with Fallout 76. And it's like, it's Fallout 4, but it's multiplayer. And everyone's like, oh, shit. So everyone buys it. We all jump on. And it's lifeless.
Yeah.
They made a Fallout world and then didn't put anything in it. Elder Scrolls Online came out.
Yep.
And we pre-ordered it. It was the first game I ever pre-ordered. We went to the midnight release. We went to GameStop, waited for it to come out, picked it up, took it home. We played it for 30 minutes, and then we never touched it again because it just lacked. It just didn't have. Lifeless. Yeah, dude.
I remember that so well, dude.
And it's why?
We were so hyped on that game. My roommates, I might have told the story on this podcast before, I'm not sure, but
probably
we were so unbelievably hyped for that game when me and my buddies Jeff and Dan lived together over in Monkey Junction. I remember there was a point where we were all playing Skyrim, right? And we were basically like playing multiplayer, so we were all in our 3 different rooms in the house we were renting, and we were literally like running from room to room. We're like, "Where are you? Are you in the cave?" And we go back to and like we're all going through the same levels and everything at the same time to try to do this multiplayer thing. And then like the rumors started coming out of, holy shit, the new Elder Scrolls is going to be ESO, Elder Scrolls Online. And we went through so much planning of like, are we doing Aldemary Dominion? Are we doing the pack? Like, what are we? So we ended up settling on Aldemary Dominion. We bought a freaking Aldemary Dominion flag from eBay and had it up in our house, like, because we were all going to role play Aldemary Dominion. And I remember when that damn game came out, we were so fucking stoked. And same thing, we went to go get it at the GameStop over on College across from the university. Dude, I brought that shit home and I was like, it doesn't feel like an Elder Scrolls game,
right?
Because of the combat system, but also it's supposed to be an MMO. It doesn't have enough tabs to feel like an actual MMO. Like, it didn't feel like either one. It was so disconjointed, and then like everything just felt early access, just because of how lifeless it felt. Like, you go to talk to a merchant and they'd say this lifeless line, and then you'd go to do something else, and it's like, oh, I'm just doing gather missions. Like, all of this is just gather missions,
right?
That has nothing to do with the story. Like, where's the story? That's Elder Scrolls' whole thing.
Yeah.
It was such a bummer, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I remember like I've heard that it's like they've come out with all these DLCs for ESO. They've come out with all these DLCs for Fallout 76, and now these games are apparently a lot better. But it's like, why? It's too late now.
Why did it take 10 years, dog?
Yeah. It's too late now. Like, I keep getting ads for Fallout 76. I know there was no NPCs in Fallout 76 when it released. I tried so hard. I played for about a month of 76 just because it's a gorgeous game, and I wanted to build in different areas, try to build my house and stuff. I'm just that guy. I just love to build my bases. But and I had some friends that were playing it, so I would play with them, you know. But there's just like the campaign is all through audio files. You just find cassette tapes.
Oh yeah, you were telling me that.
Yeah, like little like Pip-Boy cassette tapes, and you play them, and then there's like you're listening. Okay, so this is what happened. All right, now to the next location, and that's the campaign. You know.
Right. Yeah.
And there were no humans. There were like only monsters, and there's a few robots here and there, but like nothing like crazy. You know. And then after everyone complained and the player base dropped, they came out with a DLC of whatever they called it with the humans. And so you have to restart the game so that you can come out, and then there's humans waiting for you and you can talk to them again, you know? And it's just like, you didn't think about this beforehand. Like, your whole studio, you're a AAA studio. You have all these resources, all these people, and you're just like, no one said anything about the fact that there's no body to talk to. There's no one to talk to.
Yeah.
You know?
Some of those game developers are really smart with how they market things, because like ESO, SWTOR, like Old Republic Online is another MMO. I mean, if you like Star Wars, I could honestly still say, like, give SWTOR a check, because it is really, really fun. But ESO and SWTOR, dude, if you want to talk about like trailers, some of the best marketing I have ever seen in video games. I remember when ESO, they would make a new trailer for every expansion or whatever, and that trailer would hit and you'd be like, holy shit. Like, it's so sick. Like, there's no way that they fixed it. There's no way this next expansion will not be as epic as these trailers, because these trailers are so good. And then you play it and you're like, oh, God damn it. They got me again. Because they're like cinematic shorts. Like, they're so sick. But it's not the same, man. Like, what they promised to deliver is not what they deliver on whatsoever. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, I gotta sneeze. 1 second. We were talking last night or the night before about Marathon. That's the new Bungie game coming out. It's an extraction shooter. I think I showed you the cinematic trailer when it came out.
They're like running on. It's like on an island. It's like on a not a beach.
There is a coast in the cinematic trailer.
Okay.
It's like a old or an abandoned facility that's kind of on the coast.
Yeah.
And it's they're called, I think they're called runners, and they're like 3D printed agents,
people
that are sent out to like retrieve these lost artifacts or lost like technology from this day and age. But the cinematic trailer was incredible. It's to this day the best cinematic trailer I've ever seen. I still watch it from time to time because it's so good, and it has such a unique texture to it that I haven't seen. It's like cyberpunk, but in a weird, like a different side of cyberpunk that I've ever seen, and it's really cool. The music is like alien, but like cyberpunk. It's dude, that cinematic trailer is so good. And then they announced that it was an extraction shooter.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's so rich. It's so rich with like potential. And now it's like there's no,
like, you just know, there's not going to be no lore to it. Like, it's all going to be a facade.
They say you're supposed to you're going to be uncovering truth as you play. It's like, how? It's an extraction shooter. You're not going to be talking to anyone. What are they going to release audio logs, or you discover audio logs, and then whenever you extract, you can go and like listen to something? Like, no, this game I feel like, because the old Marathon games from the, I think it's 80s, late 80s, early 90s or whatever, they were campaign games.
Which is what this is based off of?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Marathon, I think, was the name of a satellite or something. And then it was attacked by some alien entity or something. I don't know the lore myself as much, but I've heard kind of a few little details about it. But it was like they were recolonizing this other planet or something, and then the Marathon satellite was attacked and life was lost on this planet or something like that. Who knows? Yeah. There's so much potential. The visuals are super unique. Nothing you've ever seen before in a video game. Like, I mean, maybe, but like,
I was just looking at some of the character designs and everything, and they're very unique.
Mm-hmm. The like map design of the planet, anything that takes place in another world, another planet, is always super intriguing because you can be as fantastical as you want.
Yeah.
Develops lots of like creative freedom there. The character designs of the runners is really cool. Glitch, bro, whenever they release the little cutscene of Glitch, I was like, bro, that's waifu there.
Was that the chick? Yeah.
Yes, dude. The little goth, like petite goth. She's like kind of badass, dude. I was like, this is gonna be my favorite character, Yeah. And then it's an extraction shooter, and you're just like running and gunning, and you're fighting other players, and then it's just like cool. I like extraction shooters, but this had so much potential to be a campaign game where you're investigating, you're 3D printed, and there's like this like weird identity crisis thing happening with these 3D printed people, because they're like their only reason for existing is to go into these facilities. But then there's like these weird interactions between them where you see a little bit of their humanity come out. And you're like, ooh, that's interesting. But no, that's all just for visual like marketing to get you to be interested in the game. It's not actually part of the story. And it's like, Why not?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people agree.
Did you ever play No Man's Sky?
I played a little bit, yeah.
So I
Back
never
in the day.
played it, but I remember like the concept of it seemed so cool, and it seems so like holy shit, like I get my own ship, I get to just explore. Like I forget the number of instances or the number of planets that you encounter.
Yeah. Well, there's like it's like 10,000 possibilities or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The number was crazy.
Yeah.
And it seems so just a really cool concept, and it seemed like a really cool idea to explore, and just the openness of it was just rad as fuck. And then a bunch of my friends were playing it, and they're like, yeah, there's not really a lot to do in it other than like the collecting the bio samples or whatever you would do. Like there's like not that much. I heard a little bit like last year that apparently that game was a game that it's like similar thing that we're talking about, where there wasn't a lot to do early on, and now, which I guess it's been about almost 10 years, right? Because it came out in 2016.
Yeah, something
17, somewhere like that. Apparently now there's like a lot that's been developed into it, of what I guess they initially advertised it as, and now they're kind of fulfilling that. But I'm like, I don't know. Do you want to gamble on that? I don't know.
Yeah,
but it seems really interesting because I'm like, I mean, like we're the same in a lot of ways. I like building, I like character creation, I like exploring, and something like that. Like I've always wanted my own ship, like a game where you can have your own ship, and customize it however you want, and you're your own space explorer or your own space pirate or whatever you want to do. That's been a dream game for a long time, right? And no one seems to be able to nail it. Like even with like you love Destiny, and like you have your own ship in Destiny, but it's just a loading screen, right? It's just a skin. Like there's nothing really that you can do with it, right? I loved that you could do that in Old Republic Online. You could get your own ship, and I mean, with that, like you're actually in your ship, and then they ended up making starship battles that you could do. But again, it was still only the same 4 ships, and then you can just add skins on it, and that's it. But your stats don't increase; it doesn't change how they fly, anything like that. This seems different. This and like maybe Star Citizen. I've been hearing things about Star Citizen too. Which I'm like, I don't know, maybe explore a little bit, maybe see, like, is it good? Do a little research. I don't know. There's just something. I'm missing something.
I feel like it's a game where you could probably get a few sessions play and like have a really good time. You're just going to hit that plateau.
That plateau. I know.
Which I think is okay if you're willing to spend the money, especially if you see it on sale, maybe grab it and play it, but yeah, as far as like, I don't hear a lot of people calling it their favorite game. I don't really see it. No Man's Sky. Yeah. I think I've heard good things about it, but I'm looking I need a life changer.
I know.
I need a life changer. Before Skyrim came out when I was in high school, I kind of fell off of campaign games, and I was like a Call of Duty kid. That's all we did. Me, my brothers and all my friends. That's all we did. We just played Call of Duty. From the time we got home to the time we went to bed, And then I remember when Skyrim came out, I had kind of like felt like I grew out of campaign games. I was like, I'm a Call of Duty player. I was cracked out of my mind. Like we were all insane,
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
I thought I was going to be the next. Yeah, I thought I was going to be the next pro player.
360 no scope, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. I was getting like triple headshots, like triple one shot. But yeah, and then I think I started to hear the news about people losing their jobs and like failing classes and all these things because of how addicting Skyrim was. And I was like, it's like when you see someone eating something really tasty. Yeah. You're like, I'll give it a taste. I'll give it and I immediately like I think someone let me borrow it. Theirs, and I was like, this is my game.
While they went to rehab,
yeah. And it was just it just like it took over. I couldn't stop playing it. That's all I played, and I played it year after year after year after year. I just couldn't stop. And then even like I think when it feels so distant now that I think about it, that time period.
Because it was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, but it feels more distant than older things. I don't know what it is, but I think about, I played Skyrim, and then I played Fallout 4, and then I probably went back to Skyrim, then I probably played another Fallout 4, but it changed what I wanted to play, those games, Then I think later on I played Dragon Age Origins, which is kind of like a bridge between Skyrim and Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I never played Origins. I played Inquisition. I loved Inquisition.
I would highly recommend Origins. It's a little bit more freeform. It's turn-based like Baldur's Gate. But there's a little bit more role play in Origins because you're not playing, like, you're not the character. Like in Inquisitions, they gave you the character to play, and I hate when they do that. When they go from a game where you can create your own character to a game where you're like, no, well, you're playing as this guy, but you can kind of change how he looks if you want. Like, no. What if I want to play? No, I want to play as a dragon. I want to be a lizard man. Yeah. I want to be a
lizard man.
I want to be a cat guy.
Huh? You could do whatever you wanted.
I thought Inquisition you had to play as the one guy. He had like the black hair.
No. You can make your own character in Inquisition. Yeah.
What's the one where you have to play as the guy? You have like the guy version or the girl version. You could
Mass Effect?
No, it's a Dragon Age game.
In Dragon Age Inquisition, you can make your own character. You can change the race or whatever you want.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but I remember hearing stuff that was like slightly different. Like you can't romance people or something, or it's a little different.
You can full.
Well, maybe it's just as good.
Inquisition was a good one.
Yeah, Origins was amazing. You depending on what race you start, or what like race and like background you build, your beginning of your game is different.
Yeah.
But like it's like a good portion of your game. Like it's not just like just like a quick intro. It's like you have to play through this little mission that's completely different depending on how you started. Pretty cool.
I remember, dude, the intro. Like, also, okay, so I know we keep coming back to it a little bit. Game developers, if you want to grab somebody, your loading screen, your loading intro screen has got to be something fucking memorable. It's got to be something that gets me hot as a fucking rock every time I hear it. Like you gotta fucking do something. Like think of the first of like that's the intro to the Skyrim theme.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Like it's gotta get you going. Same thing with Inquisition, dude. Different because it's like the Down by the River sequence from Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. It's very whimsy, like very like just ethereal almost.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins is like that too.
Okay, yeah. So that's how Inquisition was, and I remember coming home from
I wonder
work.
if it's the same composer.
Probably. Yeah, maybe. But I remember coming home from work and loading that bitch up on my Xbox One and just sitting there waiting, because it's like, oh god, it was good.
Yeah. Woof. That was Dragon Age was another game where I talked to every person I could come across because you never knew where it would lead. You know, some people would give you information that would help you find something, or like be able to it would like open a new piece of dialogue with like an enemy that helped you get the upper hand or something, like you never knew. And I thought that was really cool. And I don't know if Inquisition was the same.
It's Bethesda, right?
Was Dragon Age Bethesda?
Yeah, wasn't it Bethesda?
Was it Bethesda?
Was it Bethesda?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Hold on.
I mean, I have it right here.
Yeah, BioWare. Yeah. Because it was, that's right, because it was with, was it Mass Effect? Because you could get Dragon Age. There was a Dragon Age armor that you could get in Mass Effect 2 or something like that. Mass Effect? Was it Mass Effect? Am I having a stroke? Hold on. Yeah, Mass Effect. I was like, I feel like I'm choking out right now. Yeah, there was an armor that you could get in Mass Effect that was a Dragon Age armor, but it was just designed for like to look like Mass Effect. But it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think there's something to say, and call us old men, call us millennials or whatever, but I don't really see many games coming out these days that are creating the legacy that of the games that we grew up playing. And a lot of people that we talk to, a lot of the videos that I watch online that kind of cover gaming and stuff, always end up talking about an older game. There's like for instance, game of the year this year, Claire Obscura. It won game of the year. A lot of people rave about it. I can tell you right now that the game is done and most people have played it that would want to play it, no one's talking about it. No one's saying like, oh, I just wish we could get another game like Claire Obscura or whatever. It's like it's was one and done. Yeah. And like I want to try to give it another shot. I tried to play it and I don't know if my graphics were like, my graphics card can't handle the graphics, but it like looked very like wiry and it kind of pulled me out of it, and it's just, but I've heard good things. I want to try to give it a shot, but the same thing is like, I'm not hearing much about it. When people talk about great games, like life-changing games, they talk about older games. There's nothing I feel like that's come out in the last, I don't know, like 5+ years that has been like that, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know what it is. Cyberpunk 2027. Everyone thought that was going to be the next big game and it failed until they fixed it, and then you had some fans come back and it had some momentum to it. But it happens a lot to where these developers are failing the initial run of their game and then they fix it. But by then, a lot of the people who wanted to play at the beginning, they're not going back.
No. And again, I think we keep saying it, but I think it comes back to a lot of times, so many of these games are released when they're not a full game. Like they're a shell of what was promised the game to be. Yeah. And everything just feels so empty and lifeless inside of it. Like, Mass Effect is not Mass Effect. Cyberpunk as an example, dude. That game was so big. It was, like glitches and everything like that aside. Like the world itself was so big, and in theory, there was so much to do in that game. And then you get into it, and you're like, I don't know, man. It feels pretty empty, and it feels like I'm doing the same fetch quest over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, I like these like indie games like Grounded, but a lot of these like survival craft games, because I love survival craft, it's one of my favorite genres. A lot of these games, they come out pre-alpha and then they do these big updates because they're not finished, right? And so you have a lot of people that are excited for it and start playing it, but it's like there's a lot of parts of the map that you can't access yet because they're not finished, you know? There's a lot of like weapons or armors or build assets or whatever that aren't accessible yet because they haven't been put into the game. And then, so you play a little bit, you're like, this was fun. I think it'll be cool whenever it's finished. And then a few months later, they release an update. It's like, oh, we got a few more things to play. And you play a little bit more. And then by the time the full games come out, you're like, I've kind of played it a good bit by now. I don't really care to play it, anymore. Yeah. And then they release the game fully, and then no one wants to play it because they've already played too much, And it happens with survival craft games a lot. I don't know what it is about studios releasing survival craft games well before they're finished, but it happens a lot. It happened with Grounded. I've been playing that Abiotic Factor, which is an amazing game, but they still do updates constantly. And Dune, Dune's a survival craft MMO. There's some other ones that are just the same, and I don't know. It's like, it's this thing with indie developments where they feel like if they don't release something that they'll be forgotten, but then they release something that's not finished and people lose interest. And I don't really know what these studios should be doing to find that right balance,
Yeah. It's similar to like the anime production market where it's like a lot of times you have these production companies that are forcing these deadlines and they have deadlines to meet, and I get that, but they're like either one of two things happens, right? Either they push for a deadline and the product that you get is amazing, it's god tier, whatever, it's so good, blah 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 blah, but then your workforce is just getting demolished. They're getting, I mean, just peeled, right? And then you have all this negative context that comes on behind the scenes that all of a sudden people are like, oh shit, like, do we need to boycott the studio because of how they treat their workforce? Or you have a company that is hyped, an anime that's hyped to come out, and then it comes out and the animation is so like, because again, they're trying to meet this deadline, and the deadline is all that matters because of ad revenue and everything else. It has to happen. It has to be by this deadline. And what you get is this, like, I don't know, like this animation that's like PowerPoint, like like it's so bad, and you're like, guys, why didn't you just take an extra 4 months? Like, those were your only two options, like to just beat the hell out of your employees or to deliver this subpar garbage. Like, those are the only two ways we can do this. Like, I feel like the gaming community, the gaming industry is the exact same way. It's like, deadline, gotta meet it. And what you're left with is, it. I guess with gaming, it more than not too, you're usually left with a product by the time it's released on that deadline that it's a product that is it's unfinished, complete. It's very unfinished. There's rare instances where you're getting a game nowadays, it feels like, where it's actually done by the date that it's promised to be finished by.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what has to change. I don't know if it will change.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious. I feel like this year something's happened in like the movie industry where, like, I feel like this is the first year in a while where a lot of good movies are being trailered, for the first time. I feel like I haven't been interested in a movie in years, It's felt like we've just been in a lull. And I feel like over the last several months, I've seen trailer after trailer for all these movies that I'm really excited for. It's like art is coming back, And I feel like we're also doing this thing in anime where, like, we're finally starting to see, some solid anime come out again. A lot of studios who were getting a lot of flack for how they were conducting their productions, or their like studios, they have had to relax and, like, step back on their brutality or, strictness.
Yeah.
And I'm curious on if maybe we'll be entering in that in the game world as well, because AAA studios are not getting the attention that they need to sustain their high budgets because of, the quality that people are expecting of them, and the accountability that they're forced to take whenever they treat their employees, poorly. We were seeing this with Bungie. Bungie was a huge studio, came out like Bungie and Activision. You had Halo, you had all these games.
I mean, look at the entirety of the Xbox development side in general. Like, they canned so many studios with this new Microsoft layoff,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And like, look at where Bungie's at now. They're just like, they're at an all-time low, they're at this brink of where if Marathon doesn't succeed,
could be the final nail.
I think everyone's under the assumption that if Marathon fails, that will be the death of Bungie, and Bungie will have to close their studios.
Which is wild, because think about, like, not just at one point, but at how long Bungie was like at the top,
right,
of AAA titles.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm hoping that these AAA studios know the risk, and I'm hoping that the air or environment around AAA game making is starting to change, hopefully, and maybe these studios will kind of like start to care again. I don't know if that's possible in today's corporate market, but maybe.
I just really wish that, like, studios would listen to people. And I don't mean to influencers or people who are just rifters in a comment section, who just thrive on chaos, but to their actual fan base and their actual people who actually play their games, I wish they would listen to them and like really understand that people who play their games would rather have a cohesive finished project that they're playing at launch than worrying about a deadline that has to be met in order for people to play the game. Like, I personally would totally be fine with having a game pushed back another 6 months if it meant the product that I was getting was an actual finished project, something that was totally fleshed out. But it seems like more and more that's not the case. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I would also, when it comes to listening to the players, it can get a little tough because I know, like with Destiny, right? It seems like no one's on the same page. I read comments. I watch Aztec Ross, who's like one of the biggest Destiny 2 like YouTubers, streamers, or whatever. He covers news and all that stuff. And I read the comments whenever he posts videos on the like current state of Bungie, the current state of Destiny, blah blah blah. And no one's on the same page. And it's like, everyone, like right now, there's a huge portion of players who want Bungie to drop Destiny 2 and make Destiny 3. And I can guarantee you, me included, there is a huge player base that says, if you quit Destiny 2 and make a Destiny 3, I will never, ever play it.
Yeah.
Because
you've spent so much time and money
I've spent
Destiny
so much money on Destiny. So much money I've bought almost every cosmetic in the game every year that they release it, and I've bought every DLC, I've bought every dungeon, and you're telling me that it's just going to be, because in Destiny 2, they brought in Destiny 1 content to fill the void because they were running out of stuff to make. So they're like, okay, well, here's some of the dungeons from Destiny 1. Here's some of the weapons from Destiny 1. Here's some of the armor pieces from Destiny 1. So you're telling me that these people want them to drop Destiny 2 and make Destiny 3 for them to do the exact same thing, where they're like, hey, we don't really know what to make, so here's some dungeons and raids and armor and weapons from Destiny 1 and 2. You want to buy it? It's like, no, I already bought it. Like, there's people that feel that way about Destiny 1. Luckily, Destiny 1 wasn't as long of a long living game as Destiny 2. And Destiny 2 was such a big level up that everyone was okay with it. But Destiny 2's a 10-year game. Like, I've been playing Destiny 2 since 2017,
Crazy.
Yeah, so it doesn't work now. That same thing can't happen again. But people want it. People act like it's going to save the game. And so whenever I think about the developers thinking like, do we make a Destiny 3? I feel like that's a tough place to be, because it doesn't seem like the players are all in consensus with one another, And not only that, but within Destiny 2 itself, it seems like they can't make anyone happy, because if they do what one player base wants, another player base is like, what'd you do that for?
Right. Yeah.
So what I think is important is for the studio themselves to be full of gamers. The developers should be gamers, and they should be a team that wants to make a game that they want to play. And if some people don't like it, that's fine. Because as long as real gamers, true developer, like true artists are making something.
Yeah. The passion's going to show through it.
The passion is going to show. Yeah. And I think, it's one of these things, like, if we're just talking about Destiny 2, it's too old now. It's too developed. Like, they can't change anything that's going to make everyone happy. And they can't say, well, this is what we want to play, because the game's 10 years old now, So, but I think with new games coming out, I don't know if, I was too young, and I don't remember if Skyrim was a game where the developers were, fans of the lore, were gamers that wanted to create something that they loved. I don't know. I do know that the game feels like it has a lot of love in it, I think Fallout
it
feels like there's...
it feels like a game where the people who made it understood not just how to make a game, but they understood the world of Elder Scrolls.
Right. And they followed the vision of the development plan. They had this, as a team, had this vision. They developed that vision to the best of their abilities, and it showed, Yeah. I'm sure there are games where the developers had great vision and they tried their best and the game didn't come out the way they wanted to, but it just feels like that dynamic is becoming less and less frequent in studios, you know, or at least the developers that are the gamers aren't being listened to, you know, the corporate ownership.
The right voices in the production studios are not being listened to.
Right. Because I know for a fact in Destiny 2, you know, they had the big layoffs when Sony took over Bungie. And a lot of people were like, we tried to tell them, you know, the people that were laid off came out, were able to talk, you know, they're like, yeah, everything y'all have always been saying, we've been saying it too. And corporate doesn't listen, you know? So I think that's a big thing. There's just these AAA studios, man, these corporate leaders, they don't care.
Lebowski, the money.
Yeah. I don't know. I do know that I really need a new base building game that gives me the creativity that Fallout 4 did. That base building system in Fallout 4 was the best base building system I've ever played to this day. I think Skyrim came out with that. Was it called the Hearth and Home?
Hearthstone. That was the other one.
Hearth and Home. Hearthstone is another game. Hearthstone is the card game that you play online.
Oh yeah, it is. Hearth and Home.
Hearth and Home.
Where you could build your own. That was the other one. Yeah.
And I remember I loved Hearth and Home. So I was like, I get to have a house that I build myself. And it was really cool. Except when I found out that if you try to put your own items in the game, so like you'd have a bookshelf, and if you try to clear it off and put like, I have this skull from this character that I killed, and like this trinket from this key that in this weird temple that I unlocked, and then you like leave for a little bit. When you come back, it resets and it throws your stuff all over the house and all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that sucks, you know.
Yeah.
But then Fallout 4 came out and it had its settlement building, and there was so much freedom. So especially whenever you like YouTube started to release like glitches where you could like push things together in a way that makes it look more like junky and lived in. And then I remember I would watch video after video after video of all these creators coming out with their base settlement builds, you know, these like grand builds, these like very intricate builds that look like, it's like, dude, you could be a game developer. Like your ability to create maps and like it's just a little settlement, but like this could be in the game. This could be in the game and it would fit. And then I was trying to do that. I was trying to create things that I was like, I want to try to create something that looks like it could be in the game, you know? And that's how I've always played. I did the same thing in Fallout 76 and, you know, in Valheim and all these other settlement games that I've always played. I've always tried to build as if like I was a game developer. But nothing has given me the creative freedom that Fallout 4 has. There's always a lot of restrictions or a lack of assets.
Yeah.
So that's one thing I'm like desperate for. I wish like if Elder Scrolls 6 ever did come out, my wish would be that Bethesda followed what they did with Fallout 4 and put that kind of building, you know, because dude, I would play the mess out of that. Yeah, like that's why I fell in love with Minecraft, you know, because literally it's just blocks, it's Lego, so you can build whatever
you want.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like Minecraft. If you're not using mods, there's only a certain number of blocks before like you're out of kind of like creative expression. You know, you only have like a set number. But I don't know. That's kind of something that I love building, man. I love customizing and creativity. I like my campaigns. I like my stories, but there's something about like oftentimes when I'm by myself and I wake up, I'll get a cup of coffee and then I'll just play something where I can build. I can be creative, you know, but everything I've played has been like, whether it be Grounded, which is a cool, like you're building, but it's in like, you know, in like a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah. It's really cool. But then I put like a couple weeks in and I'm like, well, you know, I can only build, there's only like 2 different types of grass materials. It's not really, you know, there's only a couple furniture pieces. It's cool.
Well, when Forza Horizon 6 comes out, I'll let you know about it, because there's also supposed to be with that compound thing that I was talking about, there's supposed to be a track aspect to that, where you're not only building your compound, but you're able to build a track around the compound that you and your own personal track. Then I'm wondering how interactive that that mode is actually going to be. Like, is it like one, like kind of like one track that you can make, or like 2 or 3 tracks that you can make, or are you truly going to be able to make your own track however
Right.
you want it, whatever design layout you want?
Yeah. Kind of like what's it called? Zoo. The like zoo making game. Where you like create your own zoo. Zoo.
Zootopia.
No, I forget what it's called. Zoo something, where you make your own zoo, build a zoo or something. There's the like roller coaster tycoon. I think you make your own theme park.
Oh, I know Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah, and there's like I play what's it called? Hold on one second. It's called Manor Lords, where you're building like a colony, like a city kingdom kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like games like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are only building, and like I like games where you can separate. You can build for a little bit and you're like, okay, I want to do a quest or two right now, kind of like take my mind off of creativity and go do some questing. That's why I'm kind of excited for Fable. Fable is not a building game, but there is a little level of like role play, a good level of role play. You can create your own like legacy, like get married, have kids, have like land and like businesses and stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Good
That would be
campaign.
honestly like really, really fun. Like if you could, we were talking about that with Red Dead Online, where how the only thing that really makes it feel yours and unique, because you can basically, like, you have a camp, that you upkeep and can customize to make what you want, but you really you can't do anything with the camp. And then, but they made this mode of the moonshiner role, where when you do the moonshiner thing, you create your own steel and you create your own like bar hangout, basically your own speakeasy, and you make it your own. And it's supposed we haven't unlocked it yet because you got to be ranked 10. But it seems like it's like the best thing about that game. But I'm like, why did they stop there? Like, why weren't you able? Because there's still wild horses and stuff in this, right? Why weren't you able to make your own ranch in this game, where you could bring wild horses that you found, you can break them, you can sell them, you can breed them, you can make your own type of race or workhorses, whatever you wanted to do. But then you had your own ranch that you're maintaining. You have to ward off rustlers. You have to like battle different like native insurgent as they're like coming in trying to steal your horses or whatever. Like there was so much potential with that alone, and they just like were like, nah, we're gonna focus on GTA 5.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, like there was so much potential for it. I don't know. I would love to have something like that.
It's the perfect role play. People, they act like people aren't crazy enough to like dive that deep into role play.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, have you seen the world today? All we want to do is just like to put on a headset,
talk like a cowboy for fucking 5 hours with your friends. Yeah. No, for sure.
I don't know. I grew up wishing that Sword Art Online would happen in real life. I grew up wishing that I would put on a headset and just disappear into another world, be able to learn magic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about that. Like that type of game would be so good.
The kind where you die in real life if you die in the game.
No, just like where it's, the classic like dungeon crawling. There's like these different levels. The dungeon gets harder and harder as you get deeper into it. Different levels, different bosses on each floor or whatever. Mm-hmm. Different types of lands and environments. You can buy houses like how Kirito gets a house.
Oh yeah.
On like a level, like things like that where you could like in freaking Skyrim where you could get married. I remember, there's this a character, I forget her name, Alana. Dude, what game is good?
Redhead?
Is not the redhead from Whiterun. But the one with the short hair, I think her name is Alana or something like that.
Oh, from the Champions?
No, she was I think a monk.
That's Huntress. I'm thinking of Huntress.
Yeah, I think she was like a priest or something, or a priestess or whatever, in a church. And I think she wanted you to like kill the person who killed her brother or something like that. But if you like get the revenge, then you can't romance her. But if you convince her or something, there's something, I forget the quest there. But there was only one way in which you could romance her. And then you could get married. And then she would live in your house. It's like, that is incredible, because there's a couple characters in Skyrim that you can romance, and like it's really cool to think about like which one do I like the most, and then freaking Serena is like walled off.
I'm kind of like always been biased towards Lydia.
You like Lydia?
Mule, old Montana Mule. Fucking kick some ass, take some names with you, then she'll haul all your shit back to your house.
Lydia's too much of a homeboy.
Dude, my dog. Like, my Thane.
I get it. Lydia, I don't know. Lydia pissed me off. I wish we would have been like had streaming and stuff back then, because dude, I remember being in my room playing it, being like, Lydia, get out of my damn way. Move
You're
out
like
the way.
Sneaking. You have level 100 sneaking, and she's over here with like -5. Just oh god,
dude. Same with the dog. I had to put the dog away. I was like, "You're staying home. I can't." You're just like stop.
Every fucking trap that it could trigger, it's triggering.
Yeah.
Fun
but
times.
I feel like Serena's AI didn't quite do it as bad, and she was really strong because she had the magic. But oh my god, whenever something would happen, all of a sudden Lydia would start fighting. I'm like, Lydia, what are you doing? What are you doing, Lydia? You're like, yeah. Stop it.
Thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was cool, man.
Yeah.
Fable bringing that. I'm excited. This is the first time I've like told myself I was gonna pre-order a game.
What is the release date on the new Fable?
I think it's the end of the year.
Autumn 2026. Yeah. As of now, we shall see.
Yeah. Right now, I don't know if there's anything out like right now that is really. I think Marathon comes out in a month. That's not. Borderlands 4 that lasted all of 1 week.
Yeah, I've never been a Borderlands fan. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the second one.
Yeah, Borderlands 2 is the one I was about to bring up.
Yeah, with some friends, but I was never super into Borderlands.
Yeah, it was a fun co-op game. Really fun co-op game. Yeah. But yeah, Borderlands 4 I only heard people were loving it for like a week, and then I think there's a lot of games coming out right now that are good like 1 weekers. So everyone's like their attention
Hopping
span.
on.
Yeah, everyone's attention is getting like divided, which is not good. That's not how you build a legacy,
Right.
But game development is getting easier, especially like with like Steam and stuff. You can just drop it. You just drop it, Like you don't have to worry about like it's just everything's just so different now. Everything's just different now. And
it's also like it feels the same way with like streaming, like any type of streaming service that you get. Like there's so much all the time.
Right.
There's no room to like kind of breathe and really sit with anything, because as soon as you start getting into something, there's another drop 7 days later. And it's all about subscribers and trying to keep up money flow and all that stuff. So it's like, until that model changes a little bit, I don't think anything's going to change.
Yeah. And I'm not the kind of person to fall for it either. If anything, it turns me off. So that's why I haven't been playing anything besides. I just
that's why I'm playing a dead game in Red Dead Online, where they've not updated the fucker in like 3 years.
Right.
Yeah. But
yeah, who knows? I mean, we got. I'm going to be playing Marathon at the end of the month, or is it still February? It's still February, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's early February. So March is when Marathon comes out. That's just a PvP game, but I think we're going to give that a shot. As far as campaign game goes, I'm just going to be chilling until Fable comes out.
Yeah, I'm waiting until Forza.
I've thought about playing Witcher 3.
It's an oldie.
I've thought about playing Witcher 3 and Red Dead 2 because there's the two games that
Witcher 3 is always on sale for like $5.
Yeah, I haven't. I think I think I already have it in my inventory like somewhere, but I've never played it. I think I tried to play it for like 2 seconds, and it was a little complicated because it's like the research and the making the potions and stuff like that. But I think I need something to kind of take my attention. So
everybody that I know that loves that game or that has played that game, like really tried to play it, loves it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's. I hope we get like, the Game Awards. Came out with some trailers. You got Orbitals coming out. Have you seen that? It's Switch 2 exclusive, and it's a co-op campaign game with like 80s anime art style.
Okay.
And it looks incredible. But it's only on the Switch 2. Like, what the hell?
Oh yeah, wow. But that's so cool.
Yeah.
Give me a H game with this with this design.
Yeah. And then you have like the people who made Baldur's Gate, they're coming up with Divinity 3. Or is it 3? No, Divinity 3 is what we just played.
This is only for the Switch 2?
Yes.
That's a fucking bummer.
Right?
Yeah, this looks rad.
Yeah.
Dude, shit.
I don't like that method of marketing either.
Of
like locking it behind a new console.
I mean, that's always been done, like to having exclusives in the not platform wars, in the console wars,
But Switch 2, why not Switch 1? I have a Switch.
Well, because they're pushing they have to push it. So if they've got a new IP coming out, and I mean it's a new IP, so like a new starting point for a new generation of Nintendo. So I get why. It would be rad if they did what they used to do. Remember when they were on the cusp of like having a new gen console, right? But like they would still produce a lower res version for the previous console for like the first 2 years or so of a new console release. It feels like they don't do that anymore. Like they only, when the new console comes out, it's just for that console now.
Yeah. I still want to get a VR headset too. I really want to try to play some VR games.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
I love playing video games, and I want to play I want to have that feeling again,
Mm-hmm. That first time.
I'm tired of talking about these old games when, I'm tired of being the guy that's like, Skyrim.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I don't know. Maybe we just need to go to like a LARPing festival, and maybe that'll get us really, really into that. That'll fulfill the itch that we've been needing.
Yeah, I'm down, but at the same time, like the Western thing, I was like, you'll have to do the talking, because the good thing about playing these games is that someone else does the talking. I just control them. I just
Don't
press
worry,
the buttons.
Pinkerton. We'll take care of it. Take care of it all for you.
Oh, well, that's another episode of the Born2BNerd Podcast. Down the belt. Is that the phrase?
Definitely not. But
down the belt.
Okay.
Under the belt.
In the bag?
In the bag, under the belt. Hope you enjoyed. If there's something that you're kind of fiending for in video games, let us know in the comments below. If there's, an aspect.
Let's hear your boardroom pitch.
Yeah. What's something that you are, kind of hungry for in a video game? If you want to catch us in our other content, Ethan, what you got going on?
Not a lot, because I sold my motorcycle, but working on K-truck things. So if we get this K-truck here pretty soon, you'll be hearing from me. So look out for Throttle Fox Moto Photo.
That's awesome. I have just linked my stream OBS to both Twitch and YouTube. So I did my first stream on YouTube this morning, and I plan to co-stream from here on out. So you'll be able to catch lives moving forward. Maybe we'll do a live podcast at some point in the near future.
Let's go.
Yeah, try that. But yeah, all the links and stuff to that will be down below. If you want to listen to our podcast outside of YouTube video, you can catch us on all the podcast sites: iTunes, Amazon, Spotify. Yeah. But until next time, thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.